Hey guys, it's Hype.B. Don't forget to get your hands on exclusive designs and stunning artwork only on Teespring and Etsy. Wear your style and hang amazing artwork on your walls, so stand out from the crowd today and check it all out after this episode. Some items are limited, so don't miss out. Soon you can also get free prints when you subscribe to my ad-free podcast on Patreon for just $5. I'll share where to find those links at the end of the show, so let's get to it. Minimalism, fashion, hype, and culture. This is the Essential Podcast with Hype.B. Welcome back to another episode of the Essential Podcast with Hype.B. Today I have a special guest. Welcome, Ethan.
Hey.
Ethan, I want to start off by saying I love the store. I love the fact that you decided to come to Victoria. Me being a sneaker fan, like it was like a breath of fresh air seeing the sneaker store here when I first moved here. It's like one of the first things I looked for when I moved.
Nice.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
So my name's Ethan. We started our business here in Victoria about 3.5 years ago. My dad had his own shop up in Baltimore about 9 years ago is when he started that one. And so we decided to make another one here in Victoria. So we brought it over here, and that was about 3.5 years ago. About 4 months ago, we opened up here in the Victoria Mall. So it's been really good for us here in Victoria.
So how was that? Like, how was the experience of like first opening the store here?
It was very surprising, actually. Victoria's a real small city, so I wasn't sure how people would be able. I didn't know if people were willing to come and spend, a lot of money on shoes. Because some of these shoes could be like $200, $300, $400, $500, and I wasn't sure if people would be willing to spend money like that on shoes. So I was really nervous at the beginning, but the first day that we opened, it was like crazy. We had a line outside, people were waiting to come in, and we had one of the best days that we ever had on our grand opening. So it was really amazing.
So take me back to when you were working like your normal 9 to 5. Like, what was the thought process of transitioning from being a 9 to 5 worker to opening a boutique store?
So before I was working at Champs, I started working there when I was 16, and by the time I was 18, almost 19, I worked there for almost 3 years. And I was wanting to get a promotion to be the assistant manager, but they had told me that I was too young to be the assistant manager. So I just felt like I could do a better job than what I was doing at the time, just being a regular employee. I wanted to move up, but it seemed like it wasn't going to be possible to move up. So I started looking for other options, started applying other places, and I was telling my dad about how I just was tired of working there. And he was like, well, why don't you go see if like in the mall you can get one of those kiosks in the middle, and then I could just send you shoes. I was like, okay. And so I went to go ask, and they were like, yeah, we don't do kiosk anymore. So I was like, okay. So I let him know. He was like, sorry, just get a job. So I started looking around other places too, just in case. So I started looking to see if I could find anywhere that rent was cheap enough to maybe make it happen. And I ended up finding a couple different places. And the one on John Stockbauer was my favorite one because it was on John Stockbauer. It's a main street, so a lot of people would be driving by. So I called him. I was like, hey, I know you said that the kiosk was the best option because, like I said, we didn't know how it was going to go here in Victoria. So he was like, well, just go check it out. You can go look around. If we like it, maybe we'll do it. So went, looked around. We liked the space, and then we decided to open up. So within like a couple of months, he drove down a whole bunch of shoes for us from his store in Baltimore. And then we opened up on John Stockbauer.
That's pretty awesome. It's crazy how when you run into roadblocks like that, it kind of forces you to go out there and, find other things. But, it's more of like a blessing than it is a roadblock.
Definitely. Yep. Yeah, if that never happened, I'd probably be working at Champs still. My goal was to just, because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just was working at Champs, and I figured that's cool. I'll just work at Champs and keep moving up, eventually be a store manager, move to a bigger city, be a store manager. So that was kind of the plan because I didn't know what else to do. So, I mean, if that never happened, I'd probably still be over there at Champs. So I'm glad that I was too young.
That's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
So before you worked at Champs, was this ever like an idea, or was this idea brought about from working at Champs?
Honestly, I didn't. Like I said, in Victoria, I wasn't sure that this would be like a great business to be in. So it never really was an idea until he was like, just see how much a kiosk is. I was like, all right, well, maybe that could work. But Yeah, it's like I said, I'm very surprised about how well was received by everybody here in Victoria whenever we moved here.
That's pretty awesome. So, take me through like the day-to-day basis, like operating the store wise.
For what, when we started?
Yes, sir.
Um, so starting off, I was just pretty much I would be working at Champs, and then I'd go to John Stockbauer and be working over there, painting the walls or putting up shelves and stuff like that until I was just really tired of working there. So I put in my 2 weeks left, and then just started doing all that stuff like all day, just putting up shelves, looking for stuff to put in the shop, buying shoes here and there to put in the shop. Like whenever they have releases here at Champs, I would try to get a couple so I could save it for whenever we are gonna open in the following year. We opened up January 1st in 2022, I believe. So I was just waiting for that. But that's pretty much it. Just trying to set up the shop as quick as possible. Because by the time I quit in like maybe the end of November, maybe early December, so I didn't have a huge time frame to get everything ready. So just pretty much doing that every day.
I always wonder what was the process of sourcing like product.
So for our products, we buy, sell, and trade. So pretty much everything that comes in is from customers bringing shoes in. Sometimes if I really need product, because sometimes it'll get kind of like empty in here, these top rows will start to diminish a little bit. So I have to reach out to other people. So there's a couple people like in Corpus Christi who sell shoes as well. So I'll reach out to them and see what they have in their inventory, and then see if we can work out a deal. And they'll come sometimes drive the stuff over here, or maybe even mail it over here. So that way I can get some more inventory. But for the most part, it's just customers bringing shoes into us.
Before I moved here, I didn't realize how many sneakerheads were in Corpus.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't think like even Corpus is it's not like huge, but it's definitely a lot bigger than Victoria. So it's very surprising.
So how is like the sneaker culture here in Victoria? You know, working at a sneaker shop, I'm sure you get a lot of sneaker enthusiasts that come in. But what is the culture like in this area?
I would say a lot of I guess like a lot of young kids who like Jordan 4s is really popular right now. Everybody who comes in, all the kids are always looking for Jordan 4s. I get asked maybe like 20 times a day if we have Jordan 4s in their size, and every time we get them in, they're gone pretty quick. So sometimes I'm like, sorry, you just missed them. But everybody wants the Jordan 4s. That's what it is right now. So I guess just a lot of people who following the trends like Jordan 4s, 3s, 11s, stuff like that. There's not a lot of like sneaker collectors really anymore, like people who really 'cause, like I know some people who collect like only Air Maxes because that's like just the shoe that they love because that's personal to them. A lot of people now just like doing like what's cool, which there's nothing wrong with that because
No, not at
everybody
all.
wants to look cool.
Right.
So I'd say a lot of people just coming in trying to find out, like trying to figure out what looks cool, and they want to be cool when they go to school, whenever they go out.
Right. A lot of the sneaker culture is like history too. Maybe there's like a specific pair of sneakers, someone grew up with, and they just stick with that pair, because they know how to style it, they know how to rock it, they know how it feels. And I always tell people that sneakers, to me, are like art, and they have their own personality.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I love the history behind shoes. I love each colorway has a different story for the most part. Like this white cement 4 is one of the first colorways they came out with in 1989. So that's like one of the best Jordan 4s to me, just because it's one of the originals. But yeah, every shoe has a different story to it. So that's what I like.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I see you have like a crazy Supreme collection going on over there. Like, what's the most unique item in
The
there?
most unique item, I'd probably say it's the Supreme mini bike that we have at the front of the store. That one definitely gets the most attraction.
I would definitely agree. That's
Yeah,
like one of the craziest things I've seen Supreme make.
yeah, that one's pretty crazy. It's there's only 90 of those in the whole world, and like toddlers love it. They go every time a toddler walks by with their mom, they come running in here trying to climb in. Their mom has to come chase them. Yeah, everybody loves that bike. And then I don't know, it's just pretty much anything you can think of. Supreme has made it. There's Supreme speakers, Supreme dartboard, Supreme skateboard, Supreme bowling ball, Supreme macaroni and cheese. There's literally everything.
That's crazy. You remember the Supreme Skittles?
Yeah, yeah. When we first opened at the other location, we actually had a whole bunch of Supreme Skittles and Supreme Oreos, and they sold out in like a week.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's just crazy. It's like people like me and you, like who understand like the scene behind sneaker and hype culture. It's like a lot of people don't seem to like understand it as much.
Hmm.
Um, there's just a lot of dynamics to it.
Hmm.
There's a lot of deep rooted history in Supreme, obviously. Starting off as just like a small skateboard company, turned into like the hype brand that it is now.
Hmm.
It's just amazing seeing people build things, and it's amazing seeing how you built this store, and it looks great. It looks great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it is crazy. Like a lot of times, older people who don't really understand when their kids like, "Mom, can I have this Supreme sticker?" And they're like, "For what?" Or the Supreme T-shirt is $100. Or like $100 for a T-shirt, or like just like I said, they have pretty much anything you could think of. So there's some crazy stuff in there that is like priced at a pretty high price, and the parents are like I don't. What is Supreme? I don't understand it. Can you explain it to me? I'm like, well, it was a skateboard business, and then they started making clothes, and then they started doing this and started doing that, and then they started putting their name on anything you could think of, and people really loved it, and they're just like, it's weird. Yeah, I know.
So, what inspired your father to start the sneaker store?
So he used to be a store manager for a Finish Line before he started before he opened up his shop, and he just got tired of working for other people. He wanted to do his own thing, so he would just buy shoes here and there, and then he just started building a collection pretty much of shoes from sizes 4 all the way to 14, just so he can get like a broad scale. And he just told himself, as soon as I hit 200 pairs of shoes, I'm going to quit. I'm going to open up my own shop. And so as soon as he got 200 pairs of shoes, he did that, and he opened up a store that was probably like the size from like where we're standing to the gate. It was super small, but he had shoes like all along the walls and everything, just like this. And he had a bunch of Jordan memorabilia and cool stuff like all over the place. And I think within 6 months he outgrew it. People were really love it because he was the first sneaker shop in Baltimore. So
Wow.
there wasn't any other shops like that around the area. So people really loved what he was doing. So in like 6 months he had to find a bigger space, and so he went and found a bigger space. And same thing like I was doing. He'd be working all day at his shop, and then when he gets off at night, he would go to the other shop to get everything set up and start building all the shelves and all the stuff like that. So he worked super hard with that, and then finally he was able to get everything ready. He brought all his stuff over and came to the new shop. He had a bigger space, and then within a couple of years he outgrew that one too, and he had to get an even bigger spot too. So yeah, up in Baltimore, he was doing really, really well.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think a lot of people understand. It's like when you get so tired of that 9 to 5, it's like this feeling you get where you feel like you're meant to do something different. It's like you have all this compassion, you have all this energy, and all this inspiration inside of you, and I don't think a lot of people realize how like wanting to pursue something like that, you have to have like an interest in it. You have to have like the best of heart in it, and you have to be 100% confident in it. 'Cause doing something like that, that's a big move.
Definitely.
In ways like for a lot of people, it may be like a huge risk as well. But it's inspiring to see people who just go out there and do it. And these people usually succeed, because like I said, you go out there with that confidence, this is something that you want, and you just find a way to make it work.
Definitely, yeah. For him, it was a big risk because he was actually supposed to be promoted to the district manager at Finish Line, but he still just didn't want to work for other people, so he jumped off and did what he did, and it worked out for him.
That's awesome. Yeah. And here you are years later.
Exactly. So it was good for both of us.
Yeah. So as far as like being here in Victoria, what are some things that you're excited about? Like, do you guys usually do like a lot of collabs with the community?
Yeah. So obviously, like to help out in the community. We have like these papers right here for Little League football. We have a team that comes and sets up on Sundays, and they have signups for kids to come in and sign up for their football league. And then we also, usually during the summers before back to school, we have, as of last year, we started doing this big event with some other people in the community. Before that, we would just like go and buy school supplies and have kids come into the shop and fill up their backpack. But starting last year, it was the first annual back to school event that we had in Victoria, and it was us and some other members of the community. We had a huge event. We gave out like over 1,000 backpacks and a whole bunch of school supplies. There was free food. There was free drinks. There was like lice removal. There was all kinds of things over there. So it was really great. But we're gonna do another one. I want to say August 1st this year is when it's gonna be. And so same thing. We're gonna have a whole bunch of school supplies out there. Probably gonna be the same thing, like 1,000 backpacks available. And then we also we collect shoes when people like don't want their shoes anymore. Instead of taking them to Goodwill, they can come bring them over here to our shop, and then we donate them all at that event. And so last year we had maybe like 40 pairs that we donated. And so we just set up a table, and kids that were walking by to get their school supplies stopped by and told us their size. If we had their size, they were able to pick out a shoe if they wanted it. So this year we're hoping to get even more shoes. We're gonna have some drop off events this summer where people can come in through the weekend, and they're gonna be able to sign drop off shoes and get entered for a chance to win a gift card to our store. So hopefully this upcoming year we'll have a lot more shoes to donate.
It's awesome. And I follow you guys on Instagram, and I see you guys work with the school district a lot. And that's an amazing thing, because, it encourages kids to go out there and make better choices. Like I remember you guys did one with attendance.
Mm-hmm.
They came in and got, prize for being at school on time and, having perfect attendance. I love seeing stuff like that. I love seeing when like store owners, like not big corporations, but like smaller businesses come together and do stuff like that. Because, it's companies like that that really make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, so that attendance contest, I don't remember the percentage, but they had told me that it was a whole lot more students definitely going to school that, I think it was a week or 2 weeks that they were having the contest. So it worked out. They really, all the kids, they said were excited about getting a chance to win a gift card to the shop. So doing stuff like that is great for the community, because it helps out the schools, helps out the kids, because the kids should be going to school, obviously, so it makes them more inclined to want to go to school. So doing things like that, I think, really helps. And I have a platform, so I feel like it's important for me and our store to help out wherever we can, if we can.
It's always nice to give back when you can.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So take me through some of these Supreme skateboards.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of them. So we have like the ET over there. That one's pretty rare. This one right here, I forget the artist, is Gilbert something, but they have like a set of 3. We have 2 of them. The one on the bottom, it's called Death. The one on top, I forget the name of that one. But then this one right here with all the fruits on it. We have a Travis Scott one right there. And then we have some more Supreme ones over there. We have an Al Green Supreme skateboard. And then those 2 down there, the green ones, those are both Strangelove boards. And they're pretty cool because they're actually autographed by Sean Kleiber. And Sean Kleiber's he's a skateboarder. He's the guy that does all the artwork for Strangelove.
Oh wow!
And so they have his autograph on the back of it. So those are pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And then the one above it, that Art Factory one, I had a customer bring it in one time. He brought in that one and another skate deck and then some clothes and stuff too. But I never heard of it. I was like, what's Art Factory? And it was a skate shop that was here in Victoria like 10 years ago or so. Maybe 10 to 15 years ago. And so they were called Art Factory, and they had their own boards. And so he brought that in. It's brand new. He just had it laying around. So I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And so I just put it up there. And every once in a while, like skateboarders would come in and be like, what, y'all have an Art Factory board? How much is it? I'm like, it's not for sale. One day, whoever owned that store is going to walk in and I'll have them sign it or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool just because it was a shop here in Victoria that was no longer here.
That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to see like a bit of history inside of like another local shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool because most people don't know what it is, but if people have been skating for like 10 to 15 years here in Victoria, then they walk in and they're like, that's awesome. So it's cool for them.
Yeah, and that's that's exciting for me to learn. Me not being from here, I never knew that either. So.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I even see I recognize the Banksy.
Yeah, so
skateboards.
Banksy, that first one is the actual Metacom release. That one's pretty rare too. And then the last two, my dad actually made those. He got some Banksy artwork and then put it on the back of it, and he put grip tape on the top side of it, so it's ready to skate actually.
That's what's up. You know, crazy thing is, I was thinking about whenever I start build my like studio for my podcast, I was thinking about making my own custom skateboard. So it's like cool seeing that. I thought it was something that was like already, you know, factory made or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that'd be cool to hang some skateboards up.
You have a lot of bear bricks too. Like, where do you guys get your bear bricks?
Most of them from my dad. He just collected them. He liked having like just all kinds of crazy stuff. He has bear bricks. He had the little bear bricks. He had a bunch of skate decks. He just wanted to get rid of all of them, so we have all of them here. But it's some pretty cool ones. We have like this Chewbacca. A lot of people walk in and like seeing that one, and the Homer Simpson. And then there's some Banksy pieces up there on the very like up top of those cases. And then there's just some more scattered around the store. But it definitely, a lot of people come in looking at them, and then they get turned off when they hear the price of them. 'Cause they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, it's something that's unique.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the cheapest one we have is $450, and then the most expensive one we have is that Winnie the Pooh for $17.50.
Really?
Yeah, and that one has like all the fur and stuff on it, so it's a more expensive one.
Yeah, I can see that. I thought the most expensive one would actually be the Superman one up there.
Yeah, one of them, we have two Supermans. One of them is I think like $450, and the other one's like 12 or 1300. So one of them is pretty expensive too. But yeah, like you said, that you thought they would be heavier. They're just little plastic toys, pretty much, just big size and worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Man. So I see you have like your brand merch right behind you. What do you like? What is your process? Do you have like a manufacturer that you send your ideas to, or do you order them?
So all these, I really just I get them from a website that has wholesale T-shirts, and so I order different colors. So far, I just got black, gray, and brown, and I also have this camo one that I got maybe like a month ago. And this one, I wish I ordered more because it sold out super quickly. I didn't realize how many people were into camo right now.
Yeah,
I don't have like TikTok or anything, so I don't know any like the trends. But apparently, camo is really big right now, and so I wish I ordered more because now they're all gone. But yeah, I ordered the shirts from a wholesale website, and then when I get them in, my mom actually has like a pressing machine. So at home we do all we cut out the little logo and everything, and then press it onto the T-shirts. So we do that ourselves. And then I have some shorts back there. I hate wearing pants. Those, same thing, get them wholesale, and then we, for the most part, do all the stuff ourselves. So, yeah, it is a process, but people like to support our shop, so it's good.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I just had to dabble into screen printing. You guys use vinyl, or you just guys use printing ink?
So for these, we use vinyl, but I want to do some more stuff that it's going to involve like screen printing and DTF and stuff like that. I just need to come up with some more ideas of something cool to put on a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part, right?
Yeah, definitely. It has to be something cool and something that has to do with the shop. So I have to try to be creative.
Yeah, as far as like the store, it's like where do you see the store blossoming in the next couple of years?
Next couple of years. So we're gonna be here in the mall for at least the next 3 years. That's what our lease is. So hopefully by the time that 3 years ends, we're still going super strong and everybody loves our shop still. We're doing great. If that happens, then we'll probably sign another lease and just keep on going here in the mall.
Have you ever thought about like expanding the store to other locations?
Other locations were here in Victoria.
Just in general, like say if you want to like open up a boutique in Houston or LA, anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great. I would just have to be able to get enough shoes to fill up both this store and that store, and then be able to have somebody to run at least one of these stores, so I could be running the other one. So it would definitely be a process and a lot of work, but maybe one day that might happen.
Yeah. I mean, from the outside looking in, I feel like you're definitely on the right direction.
Thank you. Yeah.
As far as like decor, like how was it like setting everything up? Like did the ideas, like some of your ideas come from like the way your father had it set up, or did you have like your own general ideas or?
I just kind of so at the old shop we had the shelves and it just had all the shoes like in the shelves where you could see the back side of it. But I really like the idea of having like just the shoes facing sideways so you could just see all of them. And the other shop just didn't have enough room to do that, so they all had to face like forward. So I like this idea, so I wanted to do that. And when we got here, there was already slat walls all the way across, so all we had to do is get some plastic shelving thing that just clip right in there. So thankfully that slat wall was here because that was a lifesaver. And then also when we got here, the whole thing was painted bright pink, so we had to get it painted. We chose black and white because we felt like it just makes it look nice and kind of classy, you know?
Yeah.
And then we put this like marble floor in ourselves too, so just to make it look like a nicer store.
Okay. Where do you go to get that done? Is there like a contracting company that does that?
The floor?
Yeah, I never understood where people, go to get their flooring done.
So we went to Home Depot and they have like these stick-on
Really?
vinyl marble floor things. So we just bought a whole bunch of those and we did that all ourselves.
I would have never guessed.
Yeah. It looks good for us doing it ourselves.
No, it looks really good.
Thank you.
I thought it was like hard. I didn't know it was like,
Yeah. If you look close, you can see lines in the floor because they're all separate pieces. Yeah.
I know that took some time. It had to.
Yeah, it did take a lot of time. I was here like morning to night, was just sticking these things on the floor. It took a few days to get it all done.
So, as a business owner, what were some of the biggest challenges, and how did you learn to overcome them?
I'd say just whenever like it gets slow sometimes. At the old shop, it definitely started to get slow towards the end. I guess a lot of people just maybe got tired of coming to the shop, needed something new to like make it refreshing, you know. And so towards the end, it was starting to slow down. So we were already planning on getting over here, which was also a process because we were trying to. I've been trying to get in here for like maybe a year, but it was a very long process, emailing back and forth to finally get in here. But I'd say just trying to make things work still, like getting people to come into the store, trying to get promotions out there so people come in and still shop, so that way we can keep going until we were able to get in here. And when we got in here, it was, like I said, it was refreshing. A lot of people came and just started shopping, buying shoes and stuff like that, which wasn't happening like the month prior. So it was great to have something new.
Yeah, and that's awesome that you didn't give up on that. A lot of people would have easily been, too doubtful to continue. But I like the fact that you had an idea, you had an intuition that things are going to go well, even if things didn't go at the pace that you probably expected to go right off the back. You kind of stuck with it, and it ended up being how you would imagine.
Yeah, it's always a big risk doing something new. So thankfully, it's worked out so far. So it's been good.
But it's like you get like a thrill out of that risk, though, especially when you enjoy doing something.
Yep, yeah, I definitely enjoy this. I love shoes. Like I said, I love like the history about shoes. I love just knowing like what year shoes came out, just little nerdy things about shoes. I love it all. So all this is super fun to me. I love being here at work like pretty much every day. It's never a day where I'm like, man, I really wish I wasn't here. It's always good.
So what would you say is like the most underrated sneaker?
Underrated sneaker. I like Jordan 2s.
Jordan 2?
Yeah, I would say a Jordan 2. A lot of people don't like it because, I mean, it's definitely not the prettiest Jordan. It's real bulky and ugly, but I like bulky, like dad-looking shoes. So I've always liked the Jordan 2s, but I know a lot of people hate the Jordan 2s.
Is that your favorite?
No, not my favorite, but I do really like them. My favorite would probably be, I want to say Jordan 4, but everybody wants the Jordan 4, so I don't want to sound like everybody else, but Jordan 4 is probably my favorite. Jordan 4, 3, maybe even a Jordan 1, but it'd probably be around there, 1, 3, or 4.
Jordan 1 is my favorite silhouette.
It's a classic, yeah. And right now, a lot of people don't really care for them anymore, but a few years ago, it was like what everybody wanted.
Yeah.
There was like Jordan 1s, like Mocha 1s, University Blue ones. They were selling for like $500-$600, and now they're just going down and down. But it's like I said, it's all a trend. It all comes back around eventually. So in like 4 or 5 years, Jordan 1s will be popular again, and
Yeah.
It always happens.
To me, I feel like the ones and the fours have like the most unique colorways.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I like shoes that are gonna be like the original colorways. Like I said, this one's one of my favorites because it's the original one that came out when they first put out a Jordan 4. But like Jordan 4 is like I'm definitely cool with like doing like other things, like other cool colorways. But there's some shoes like a Jordan 7, I'm only gonna want it if it's like an original colorway. Or like a
Right.
Jordan 8, 6, like all those other ones that aren't as like cool looking. If they're like if I want it, it's gonna be like the original one, like that first came out for the most part. But like Jordan 4s, ones are like the ones that are cool to have like other variations.
Yeah, I kind of get that because once you go up in the numbers of the Jordans, it's like the originals, you just can't beat them because it's just like this feeling of nostalgia that
Yeah,
comes with
definitely.
it.
Like these right here, I actually have the 2016 pair right here that are super beat, but I brought them in just to see what they look like compared to the new one that just came out. And that one makes this one look terrible. Like the paint splatter is all ugly, like the color is weird.
Yeah, but
So,
at the time though, that was probably the thing.
yeah, and for a while it was selling for like $500-$600 too. It was just insane for a shoe, but it's crazy that, like I said, the classics are always very sought after just because it's the original.
Yeah, like a lot of people. You remember when the Air Force Ones used to come out with like multiple colorways in like a week? It was just like a crazy thing. You don't see that a lot more. You still see people rock different colors in Air Force Ones, but it's not as popular as they used to be.
Yeah, it's definitely not. Recently, actually, Lil Yachty came out with the Air Force One.
I've seen
It's
that.
like all patent leather and green and I think yellow and red, and it was super limited. Apparently, there's like 390 pairs made. So it should be a pretty cool shoe. We actually have one coming in on the way. A friend of mine hit on the sneakers app, so we have one coming into the store. I think it's like a 10 and a half, but I'm excited to see it because, like you said, nobody ever makes cool Air Forces anymore. There's not really any around. They always just have some plain basic Air Forces, but I mean it's not popular right now, so that's probably why Nike's not really caring for it anymore.
Yeah, I remember my freshman year of high school. Those were the first sneakers I wore in high school. Were a pair of Air Force Ones, all white ones.
Yeah, my first shoe was I want to say it was a Legend 11. That was like my first shoe I ever got. It was in middle school, and that was like my favorite. I wore it every single day. Before then, it was just I had a black and green pair of Vans or Converse, I think, and then I would get one shoe every year, and it was always a Sperry, which I hated so much. So I got that Legend 11 when I was in middle school, and I wore it every single day. And I actually still have that same pair. It's like a size 6 or something. I have it laying around at the house somewhere.
Man, what's a sneaker that's like a very good travel sneaker? Not a lot of people probably think about it.
What's that?
Converse,
Oh yeah.
Chuck Taylors.
Uh-huh.
You can pack those things everywhere, and they're so compact 'cause you can just fold them easily.
Yeah, you
But I had my first pair of Converse were these all black ones. That had like the I guess like the kind of gum leather logo on the side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, oh my god, I wore those things so much the sole came off of them. But they were just so comfortable, and you can just wear them with like almost anything.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I like shoes that I don't really care for shoes that are like all black, but stuff you can wear with everything. Like this is a good one you can wear with everything. But I do like stuff that's like more colorful, sometimes crazy looking. Like I like stuff that's bright. I like stuff that has like animal prints on it, stuff with like fur, snake skin, which is like all the crazy looking stuff. I like those kind of shoes.
Yeah, those are the kind of sneakers I'm into too. Like right now, I have on a pair of like the off-white Air Force One mids.
Yeah, I seen that with all
Yeah.
the spikes and stuff on the
Yeah.
bottom.
I was like, my first impression was like, this shoe is crazy.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
want them.
Nice. Yeah, that's definitely a crazy one.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's so much like the pop of color. It's like the details in it that grab me. Like not just the spikes, but you have like the layers of colors on the spikes. Obviously, you have like the off-white branding on the side, Beaverton, Oregon, the tag, and then you have like the neon that just makes it like pop. But it's just the details in sneakers that really draw me to them.
Yeah, and for an off-white too, it's probably like the most affordable off-white you can find too.
Yeah.
The other ones are like $1,000-something. So
Yeah, they're like my favorite pair in my rotation right now.
nice. Yeah, that is a cool one.
And man, it's been nice getting to know you a little bit.
Yep.
So before we go, like, tell us like anything like important that you want people to know, or anything special you guys got going on pretty soon.
Like I said, this summer we're going to be having some events where people can come in and donate shoes, and they get a chance to win a gift card. And all those shoes are going to go to students at VISD who are in need of shoes, in need of school supplies. They're all going to come out and be able to pick up whatever they need for the school year. So you guys can keep an eye out for that. So whenever we do that, we're always going to post it on our Instagram. It's going to be on Facebook, and you can just come drop off shoes and get a chance to win a gift card.
Okay. And where can everyone find you on social media?
Our Instagram is 9_10 condition_TX.
Awesome. And what words of wisdom or inspiration would you give to people who are looking to go out on their own, like you did? You had a desire to go out on your own and start something that grew into what the story is today. What advice do you have for people out there?
I'd say just make sure you make a good plan, write it all down, figure it all out, get prices behind it, get everything situated on a piece of paper before you actually go into it. And then once you go into it, just make sure you give it your all. And if it doesn't work out the first time, don't be discouraged. One out of every 5 businesses succeed, so that means 4 out of every 5 fail. And so a lot of people don't tell you that whenever they're talking about like owning your own business and stuff like that. There's an 80% chance that it doesn't go well. So if it doesn't go well the first time, just get your stuff back together and try it again, either with the same thing or something else, and eventually you'll be good.
Yeah. Some good advice that I've learned recently is whatever was meant for you won't miss you.
Exactly. Yep. There's a plan for everybody, and it all works out perfectly.
Well, I'm so glad that I was able to come out here. It's been nice doing this. You're actually the first business owner on this podcast.
Nice.
And so it's awesome to get out and talk, not just for the podcast, but to get to know you a little more personally and how the store came to be. And, as I mentioned before, it's very inspiring, and it's something that moves me to come out here and do these things. And maybe, this podcast can reach other people, and it will, inspire other people.
Yeah, definitely. Hope so.
Well, thank you, Ethan.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the interview.
No problem.
Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to check out my Teespring merch and photography prints on sale on Etsy. The links to both will be in my comment sections and bios. If you want ad-free content and free prints, please go subscribe on Patreon. And don't forget to follow the podcast right now on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. And video podcasts will also be on my YouTube channel, Through the Lens with HypeDubB. You can find all of the links to these in my Instagram, so please go follow me at the official HypeDubB. That's the official HYPEDUBB. As always, thanks for listening, and remember, simplicity is a luxury. Catch you guys in the next episode.